Christmas and July thing?
Yes.
I have to go there.
Hi guys. Hello. Okay. If y'all are popping in and you are new, let me introduce myself. My name's Lindsay. I'm the owner and designer of Tarnation Creations. I'm just one of the amazing group of creators that were live today in the TMI group for Christmas in July. And we have had so much fun. I hope if you have missed it, I hope you guys are able to go back and watch each of the designers on the replay inside the group, because each one has been so different and each one has been so beautiful. I have learned so many things from watching, whether it was Cara or Kayla or Ashley or Melanie or Victoria. I mean, even Angela, and Courtney, we have had so many amazing people and designers in this group. So I want to thank you all for joining us. And I'm going to be wrapping up the evening tonight. But I always kind of try to think a little bit outside of the box. So I'll give you just a little bit spiel for me. If you guys are new, again, my name is Lindsay. I'm the owner and designer of Tarnation Creations. If you're not following me, give me a follow. I'm on Facebook as Tarnation Creations, and then I'm over on YouTube, Tarnation Creations, and also on TikTok, Tarnation Creations Vol 2. So if y'all want to make sure you're following me on all the platforms, I'm going to replay tonight's design over on my YouTube page, but also I'm going to show you guys, if you purchase this kit, I'm going to do a completely different way to design this Christmas kit in a very different way, and that's going to be posted on my YouTube page later on this week. So stay tuned. Give me a follow over there too. We're going to start off by talking about this kit. This is a high-end kit. It has a 10-yard roll of designer ribbon. It is D. Stevens. It is jeweled, and it is everything. But I have designed this so that if you have never worked with jeweled ribbon before or designer ribbon before, I've broken it down, and the way that we're going to teach how to do it, you're going to feel confident in being able to manipulate and use something like a jeweled ribbon and a really nice, thick, beautiful wire, because we are going to be teaching some of my tips and tricks on using this kind of ribbon. And this kit, you guys can use my code TC20. You will be getting 25% off not only this kit. If you purchase the kit by itself, you're going to get free shipping with that kit too. So you're going to get almost a $300 kit for just around $200, $210, which is huge savings. There are limited quantities of these kits available. I think we're down to just 2 or 3 left. So if this is something that may interest you, snag it up. But if this maybe isn't your jam, any type of shopping you are doing at TMI Gifts, you guys can use my code TC20. And today only, so if you're watching this on the replay, this is only available, this 25% off is only available until midnight tonight. That's, I believe, Central Standard Time. So if y'all are shopping, shop. Get those things into your cart, complete that purchase, use my code TC20, you'll get 25% off. And then once you complete your purchase, you are entered into a drawing after my live, and you guys are gonna be entered into a drawing for a grand prize that TMI is giving away, $300 gift card. You're gonna get all your Christmas shopping done. You can decorate your entire Christmas tree and your home, and then still use my code TC20, and you'll get 20% off anything additional outside that $300. So stack them up, y'all. Stack them up while you can. Christmas in July is all the fun stuff that it comes to when you're designing for Christmas. But for those of you that may be a little bit too early, that's okay. I totally get that. Maybe we'll just give you guys some ideas and some inspiration, and you'll have some fun shopping away. All right, so who here has ever decorated their fireplace? Now, if you do not have a fireplace, this design would be really beautiful above a cabinet in a kitchen, or it would be great above a doorway in front of your home, whether that's in an apartment complex, or if that's in a senior living home, or if that's over your front door. This technique would be great outside of a doorway too. And I've also seen people decorate around their hallways or their stairway banisters. So you can get this kit and you can use it in a lot of different ways, even if you don't have a fireplace like me. Okay, so Let me walk you through what all comes with the kit besides this gorgeous designer ribbon. You are going to be getting this 9-foot pine garland. Now, you may be calling me crazy, Lindsay, that's not a 9-foot garland. Yeah, I know. So what I did was I took that 9-foot garland, I folded it in half, and I cut it with my good wire cutters, because we are doing not a traditional style fireplace design, but we're doing a corner swag on our fireplace. And I'm going to show you a little sneak peek because we already finished the other side. Are y'all ready? We're going to go for a little ride, so hold on if you get dizzy. So there's our little sneak peek of what this finished piece is going to look like. We are going very traditional Christmas here. That was really big when we went to market. I saw these colors everywhere and I was so excited. They tie in perfectly with traditional Christmas. They also tie in beautifully if you love nutcrackers. So we are using these beautiful royal blue jewel tones, okay? And not only the square jewels, but you're gonna get some finials as well. And you're going to get these gorgeous, look at that shine on these ornaments. They're not glass. So if you're like me and you have furry friends, or if you have young children that may be throwing footballs in the house, you don't have to fret about these falling and breaking. In fact, earlier today when I was doing the other side, one of them did indeed fall and it did not crack. So you're gonna be good to go if you have furry ones or if you've got little ones like I do. You're gonna get all these beautiful blue elements, okay, with our gold ribbon. Our other pieces of gold that we're gonna be tying in are these beautiful leaves. Now, these are very limited quantities on TMI's website. If you are searching on TMI's website for this, you have to search copper. But I promise you it's a gold tone. I think just a little bit of an undertone is copper, but these are absolutely stunning. Look at the sequins on there. They're gorgeous. We're gonna be cutting these up into 3 different stems. So you're gonna have lots of supplies. And then we're gonna be using, to tie in our gold, it's that same beautiful sheen, almost like a metallic, but this one has a little bit of a glitter. These are a larger ornament versus our blue. So we've got 2 different sizes. We've got our round and our round. And then our third ornament is going to be this cherry apple red. This is so gorgeous. It has such a pretty sheen to it. And this combination is what we're going for in our traditional Christmas, a little nod to nutcracker without the black and white. So if you love nutcrackers, I brought these up there as an example. Pop in some black and white. TMI has some beautiful black and white ribbon that I think would be gorgeous with this. If you love nutcrackers, it'd be a great way to tie it all together. But let me tell you, these colors were huge at market when we were shopping earlier this year, and you're gonna see lots of traditional colors coming back, and I'm here for it. I am so here for it, and I think this color combination is gonna be so pretty. Okay, our last red element that we're gonna be using, and this is what Miss Lori was talking about in her live just before, is this red berry cluster bundle. These, I believe, are already sold out, so if you guys wanted to get these, you'll have to purchase the kit. These are so pretty. You have a variety of sizes in this bundle. You have a large berry, you have a smaller berry. You also have a glittered berry versus a flat red berry. So you've got a good variety here, and that's what I'm really looking for when I'm shopping for picks, is things that are gonna be a little bit different when I'm adding them into my design. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna break apart all of these products, okay? So, y'all ready to get started? Do y'all have any questions so far about decorating a mantle? Who decorates their mantle? Have you thought about it but thought maybe it was too intimidating, or maybe it might cost you too much in supplies? Let me know your questions. And we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna bring this back over here, so get ready to go for a little ride so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing as we're doing it. Okay, now that D. Stevens ribbon that is really gorgeous and expensive, okay, you are gonna have leftover ribbon. So I went ahead and I cut I measured with my roll of ribbon on my board, I measured 3.5 yards of ribbon, and I cut it. One is going to be for each side of your mantle. So essentially you are using almost 8 yards of ribbon. So you're going to have a little bit of ribbon left over, whether you wanted to add more ribbon tails, or say you wanted to make some bows and put them in your Christmas tree to match your garland, or if you just wanted some extra bougie jeweled ribbon for a wreath or a swag, you're gonna have plenty left over, okay? So when you're dealing with this kind of ribbon, you just wanna give a good pair of scissors and really just snip through that ribbon, because it is thick, thick, thick ribbon with a beautiful wire. It is two-sided. It's got this beautiful Dubiani silk on the back and the jeweled on the front. Now, if any of your jewels pop out, don't worry about that. Don't stress over it. Sometimes that can happen. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you kind of how I prevent some of that, and then I'm able to use this ribbon year after year. So I cut my ribbon at a diagonal, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. And I'm gonna start from the inside of my mantle. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to pinch a little bit further than my hand. So I'm gonna measure this is probably about 8 inches, okay? And then we're gonna curl this up to create that little bit of depth and dimension. Look at that wire. It's not going anywhere. This is such a beautiful ribbon, y'all. I can't tell you how much. And this would be gorgeous in a Christmas tree. So with that pinched ribbon, I'm gonna go ahead and put it into my pine garland, and I'm going to use my garland pine ties. I'm not using glue. I am not using zip ties. I'm not even going to be using pipe cleaners, okay? So this is really a design that you don't need a whole lot of tools. You'll be able to do this with your hands. You may just need a little bit of practice, but I promise you, this is the kind of ribbon that you can practice lots and lots of times. And no matter how many times you practice, that ribbon's not gonna get wrinkled. It's gonna be easy to pull it out and just manipulate it and fold it over and try again. That's the beauty of using gorgeous designer ribbon. Okay, so we've pinched into our garland. We've got a nice little loop. We're then gonna go up, and you don't even need your bow maker, okay? We're gonna be using this ribbon, and we're gonna only be doing half loops until we get to the corner. So what that means is you're gonna take your tail and you're just going to bring it up to make a loop. And then once that loop is made, you are going to put it into the garland, take 2 pine ties and pinch and twist around that. Give it a good couple pinches and twist it nice and tight, because you don't want it going anywhere. And then you're going to fluff, so you've got your loop and your tail. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take that ribbon, and I'm gonna bring y'all forward so you can see a little bit better what that looks like. There we go. Hello friends, how's everyone doing? All right, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna continue with another loop, about 8 to 9 inches. We're just gonna be pinching in the center there, and then feed it into our pine garland. And this is a really beautiful garland. It's so nice and thick, has good wire, so you're gonna be able to stand your pine ties up. They're not gonna flop over, which makes it really, really nice and easy. So we've got a tail, a loop, and then we're gonna go ahead and do another loop, and we're getting towards the center. We're getting towards the center corner here. And this is where we're gonna do a little bit different, okay? This is gonna be the hardest part of the whole design. I promise you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this, okay? So we are going to kind of pinch it where we want it. And you can always fold on that wire to create a little bit of tension to see if you want it to pop out taller or shorter, okay? You can always pull it forward to see more of the jewels, and it'll be easy to see. So we're gonna go ahead now, and we're gonna pinch this ribbon where we kind of want it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Did you adhere your garland to the mantle?
How I secured my mantle how I secured the garland to my mantle. I use 3M hooks. That's what I use. That way it makes it easy to remove. And I did 3 hooks across the top. So one at the very end, one in the center, and then one on the corner. I don't do any coming down at all. So I just use 3 little 3M hooks, and I don't ever have a problem. And I also, like I said, I don't use zip ties. I don't use pipe cleaners. I really just use the pine ties. But that's the difference in getting a good quality garland versus a lower quality garland, is that it can really hold all the things that you need it to hold. And this garland does come in the kit as well from TMI. It is not lit, but if you guys wanted to add lights to it, you could easily and definitively add lights to it, and it'd be just as pretty too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and create a nice loop just like we did earlier. We are then going to pinch and twist. Okay, this is the hardest part of it all, I promise. Make another loop behind it. So we now have 2 loops and a tail. We're then going to take all of this, pinch it. Don't be afraid to manhandle it. Y'all can do this. This designer ribbon can take a little manhandling, I promise, I promise. And then you just fluff your loops up. And then we're gonna take our ribbon tail and we're gonna pinch and twist to give it a little bit of a loop in there. So we've got a little bit of a cascading ribbon going down. All right, so once we've got our ribbon in, that's the hardest part. Everything from here on out is super duper easy. I'm not even gonna use ornament hooks. I'm just going to use the little hooks that came on all of my ornaments. So it makes it super duper easy, okay? What we're gonna go ahead and start out now is we're gonna start with our blues, because I really wanna be able to offset the gold. And I'm the type of designer where I like to see some of the greens. So I'm gonna make this design where you're gonna see some of the greens in this. It's not gonna be stuffed perfectly full where you can't see anything. That's just a personal preference thing. If you guys want it stuffed full, you guys may need to add a couple other products to this, but I think it is still gonna be pretty darn full and still make a huge impact. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab our blue finial first. Again, these are not glass, so if they get dropped or if you've got furry friends or little friends, it's not going anywhere, you're good to go. These would also be gorgeous in swags or wreaths. I love these. So we're just gonna literally take our little string here, and this is gonna go in the corner of our bow, popping out so that our eye is drawn in. So all we're gonna do is take a pine tie and wrap it nice and tight. You're gonna have to give it a few times. And if your top comes off of your ornament, one of my personal tips is sometimes if that happens to me, I just may get out my glue gun, put a little bit of a glue stick in there or a glue pot if you have it, and then glue around the top of that ornament. It won't go anywhere. But I haven't had a problem at all with these. I'm just a little bit gentle with it, not creating too much tension so it doesn't pop off. All right, next we're gonna grab our jewels. These are the new jewels. They are square and they've got these divots in it, and they also have a glitter. It's really pretty. It makes it look 3-dimensional, and I believe these do come in a different color. Right, TMI? I believe these come in a gold, don't they? So let me know, TMI, if y'all still have these in stock. I'm pretty sure y'all do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take our blue jewel, and it's gonna go behind where we put our blue finial. That way we're kind of continuing that blue line. And to get it to be vertical, I'm just gonna take, again, that little loop that I've got, place it through a pine tie, make sure we get it kind of all the way down there, and then I wrap it around the pine tie several times without popping it off. And then I'm gonna fluff my pine around it so that the pine is sitting behind the ornament, and that's what's helping the ornament sit up instead of falling flat. So again, the pine is fluffed up behind. So that's how it's sitting. So that's a little pro tip for you too. If your ornaments are falling flat, fluff your garland so the pine ties are standing up more, and then your ornaments are going to sit beautifully.
Do you have to glue the ornament caps on?
I only glue the ornament caps on when I see that they're popping off. I don't do that all the time. I just give a little tug test. Like I'm tugging pretty good right now and it's not coming off. But if you've used your ornaments year after year, you may want to add just a little bit of glue, hot glue. And I tend to, when I add them, I just add them right around where the teeth of this ornament are. You don't want to add too much, but depending on how you're putting it into your tree or into your garland, that little bit of glue is going to get hidden anyway, so it's not going to be seen, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you notice that this is popping off, just put a little bit of glue. You'll be good. All right, we're then going to take our second blue gem, which comes in the kit, and we're gonna place it at the end here. So we have our 2 gems, one on each side, and our blue finial in the corner. And when I'm designing, whether it be a wreath or a swag, or even if it's a Christmas tree, I really like to design using all elements of one color before I move on to the next one. That's just a personal preference, but that for me and my little OCD brain is what helps me keep track of, okay, have I used enough of this color? Have I used enough of this pick? Have I used enough before I move on to the next element? That way everything flows together nice and cohesively. Okay, so we've got our 2 blue jewels in, our finial. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our last blue element, which is I call them the candy apple, but they have such a pretty metallic sheen to it. These are not glittered, but these are so pretty. So now we're gonna go ahead and we are going to take our round ornaments. We're gonna place one in the center between what we did with our jewels, and then the other blue ornament we're actually gonna place down here on our garland. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one in first. This one's gonna be a little bit lower. Hey guys, how's it going? How's everyone doing? Who all has decorated a fireplace mantle? If you haven't, what is stopping you? Do you not have a fireplace? Did you think they were too big or too complicated? Let me know. I want to hear what y'all have to say.
Krista asked, did I hear bestie?
Ah! Hey, Krista girl. How's it going, friend? Oh, I've got my best friend. Yes, that's my best friend here. Her name is Amber. She is helping me out because I'm not seeing any comments on my end. So she's helping me out, asking the questions that you guys are commenting. So if you guys have questions, you're gonna hear my best friend Amber. We just drove across the country, halfway across the country, helping her move, and we got back to Oklahoma. It was late last night, so we spent the day recouping and recovering. All right, we've got all of our blue elements in, all of our traditional blues. We're really essentially making sure that we are highlighting that gold with a contrasting color to really make it pop. But now we're gonna go in and we are going to start adding in our gold ornaments. So you have 2, these are the larger ornaments now, okay? These are glittered. They have that same, almost like a candy apple sheen to it. These will be gorgeous in lots of different designs. Perfect with Nutcracker. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be placing one up top and one on the lower part of our garland. So we're going to go ahead and get that in right now. And these have, the larger ornaments have a larger hook on them. So one of the things I like to do is feed the pine ties through that hole. It makes it a little bit easier to handle and maneuver. And that's what we're gonna do. And then it makes it easy when you guys are removing these at the end of the season. You just slide it off of that ornament hook and you are good to go. It's not super difficult and involved. We're go ahead and take our larger second one, and this is gonna be coming on the other side of our lower hanging mantelpiece. So what we did on one side, we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna raise it up a little bit. And if you ever don't like the way an ornament is sitting, one of my pro tips here is when you've used your pine tie that's fed through that little hook, take and connect it, instead of just folding it up, take and connect it with another pine tie if you want it to stand out at more of an angle instead of just hanging low. So when you create that, by adding a secondary pine tie to twist and pinch and create a little bit of tension, you're able to create a little bit of a pop with that ornament. Okay, now we're gonna go in and we are gonna start adding in our red ornaments here. We have 4 red ornaments, and as you can kind of tell, we are going to be, we have 5. We're gonna be sprinkling these throughout. We're gonna have 1 in the center between our 2 blues. We're gonna have 2 on either sides of the hanging part of the garland. And then we're gonna have 2 on the top part. So we're gonna go ahead and just start adding those in now. All right, like I said, I love to have, when I'm working with my bows, a lot of times in the center of my bows, I love to put flowers as a way to draw the eye in to the center of the bow. But for this design, we're using an ornament to cover the center of our bow, so it's making our bow pop and stand out a little bit more.
TMI is answering a lot of questions.
Thanks so much, TMI, for answering all these questions. Y'all are amazing. Who all has been doing some shopping today? Remember, you guys are getting 25% off today only, and it ends at midnight. I believe that's Central Standard Time. Whoops, see, I popped that off. I was a little too forceful. Don't be a little too forceful like me. My husband jokes sometimes and says that I'm Wonder Woman.
So these colors make your beautiful blue eyes pop.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Just gonna pop this right back in there. Easy peasy. And you guys can also use that 25% off code on any of the other kits. And I did just get to release 2 new kits with TMI. We are doing a Halloween kit. So for those of you that are more in the Halloween spirit, code Orange Alert, you're gonna get to use that code and get 25% off of my kits too. So check out Custom Wreath Box Kits. That's where they are all located. Not just mine, but all of the other amazing creators here that have been helping out and designing in TMI. They have so many other kits available. So even if I'm not your creator to follow along, check out some of the other amazing creators that have been on this page today and their kits too. Some of them are on all different platforms. Some of them are different budget ranges, and we all teach a little bit different. So you just wanna find who really resonates with you, and then really, really jump in and learn from whoever really inspires you. But it's fun to hear from everyone else and think about things a little bit differently. I loved learning from Cara, and Victoria's piece was so beautiful. Which all pieces have you all seen and watched already and have loved getting to design and watch with? Who's purchased a kit too? Who all has been purchasing kits? All right, so we're feeding this in, and I'm using that trick of using 2 pine ties, twisting together to add that bit of tension. That's exactly what I'm doing. Feeding that in.
Okay, someone just came in late, wants to know what garland you're using.
This is the 9-foot pine garland from TMI. It is unlit, and it is part of the kit that I designed. This is a very large kit, but you're gonna get to learn how to design it not one way, but 2 ways. So if this isn't your style, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it a very different style, keeping the ribbons the same, but very, very similar. We're gonna take our 4th ornament, our red one, and it's gonna go at the front here where we're gonna bring in some more of that red to break up our golds and our blues. And this is a kit, so if you have wanted to design and wanted to decorate your fireplace or your front door maybe, but you didn't know how or you were intimidated, this kit has everything you're gonna need for it. And depending on the space that you're designing with, you may even have extra products, which is great. It's a win-win. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our berry clusters and we're gonna break them up into 3 groups. I'm sorry, let's see. Yes, 3 groups. So we've got 3 different bundles, and that just easily peels away. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna straighten out my wires. Okay. And we are going to start taking those berry picks and start feeding them into the greenery. I'm gonna start at the front because we wanna see the greenery, but we wanna cover up some of this. So by doing that, what we're gonna do is tuck this in. Again, we don't even need pipe cleaners, zip ties, which is gonna make this so easy to clean up when you are done decorating. You may need a good pair of nippers with you. Some of these you can just peel off, but if you want to shorten those stems, you're going to need a good pair of nippers with you. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in right here. And then for our top parts, I take a piece of pine and I wrap it around because we want it to hang, and we all know that can be kind of difficult hanging. So we're just going to use that pine tie to wrap around it, and it's not going to be going anywhere. Then we're going to take our next bundle, pull it apart, and we're going to start decorating the top part of our garland. And again, this is just half. So the other half, using all the other product, has already been done. So if you guys want to get this kit and you just want to go all the way across your fireplace, go all the way across your fireplace. You don't have to split it up into like I did. Or if you have a smaller fireplace, that means you'll just have extra to design with above an entryway. A doorway would be super fun and pretty. I'm just gonna feed these through our pine, making sure they stand up, creating a little bit of height. And I'm gonna scatter these around. And if they're not where you want them to go, you may have to bend the wire a little bit. Sometimes that helps. And you put it in opposite, and then it will scoop into the pine, and it usually sits up real nice. Okay, I'm gonna take my larger berries, and we're gonna come down here. You need to cover up some of the bottom here. All right, now who's excited for this $300 drawing? Holy moly. What all would you get if you win and you get that $300 shopping spree card at TMI? What would y'all be getting? I know me personally, I would definitely be getting a ton of ribbon. That's just me. I know you can never have enough ribbon. You can never have enough ribbon. But who else? What would you guys be shopping for? All right, now we're gonna be taking our gold leaves. And again, if you're shopping for this exact item on tmigifts.com, you're gonna wanna search copper, but I promise you it's gold. Look at those sequins. These will be gorgeous in the Christmas tree that was designed earlier today. I loved it. If you missed it, go back, watch the replay. You guys are gonna have 30 days, I believe, to be able to watch it. And then for my designs, I'm gonna be putting my designs over on my YouTube page. So be sure you're following me over there.
I'm saying more ribbon, 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 more ribbon.
Everyone says ribbon?
In your kits.
We've got quite a few kits. I'm even gonna be showing y'all a little tiny, if we have time, I'm gonna show y'all a little tiny sneak peek preview of something that's in my upcoming winter kit I'm super excited about. So we took that gold pick and we split it up into 3 pieces, which is how it is naturally. And we're now gonna mimic what we did with the berries with our gold leaves. So we're gonna go ahead, insert them into our garland, popping out, so that we are kind of covering up some of that greenery, but we're balancing out all of our colors. And this leaf is a shade different than the shade that's in the ribbon. I did that on purpose because I think personally for me and my style of designing, it really creates a visual difference and a visual interest when you go with things that are just a little shade off. I think it just makes everything else pop. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cut into our next piece. Now I did use a total of 8 sprays, 4 for each side of the fireplace design. So depending on how large your fireplace or your mantle is, you may need 8 picks of something or you may need less. You know, it all kind of depends on what size mantle you have. But again, I've seen a lot of people take this idea, which I think would be so pretty above a doorway, a front door, or a hallway door. Stairwell would be really beautiful. And we've got some stairs at my home, so we may do the same thing and decorate our stairway. Okay, so anytime I am coming down into my pine tie, I'm just taking those, wrapping it around nice and tight so they're not going anywhere. So this is a piece that you guys can do without having to need a whole lot of tools. You're just using your hands. You're not gonna risk injury from glue guns or scissors. I promise. This is a very hands-on, easy piece. And if you don't like something, I always tell my folks when we're teaching or we're talking about things, sometimes take a step away, look at it, see where the holes are that you need to fill any gaps, and then make your adjustments. So I always like to try to remind myself to do that too. So we're gonna do that here in just a minute. I'm gonna start filling up top. Okay. All right, pop this in behind. Look at that ribbon. The light just shines on this.
Somebody's asking about how they're entered into the drawing by their...
How are you entered into the drawing at the end of the night? You
Yeah.
need to complete your purchase at tmigifts.com before midnight tonight, I believe. No, midnight tonight is when the 25% off. You need to complete your purchase, I believe, before I'm done live designing, because Miss Lori at TMI is going to be hopping on once I'm done, and I believe she's going to be doing the grand drawing for everyone. So if you guys are shopping and you want your chance to be entered into that drawing, use code TC20. Normally you'll get 20% off, but today only they're doing 25% off. So take advantage of that. Shop, shop, shop. Or if you just want to get a couple entries in for the drawing, shop, use my code TC20, and then if you have more shopping to do, you can shop until midnight. I know I've done a little bit of shopping, and I will be doing a little bit more before the night is over. We're gonna go ahead and take our last 3 pieces, and this is where I say, look, stand back, take a second, look where you need to fill in the holes. And I am seeing a couple holes right here as a perfect example. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that right there. We need one popping out underneath our blue finial. That's another one of my tips, is if you can put other products behind a different color, it will make that primary color pop out even more. And then we're gonna add our final piece right here. And we have several yards of ribbon left over, so.
Someone just asked if there's enough to go the full length of the garland.
Yes, yes, yes. There absolutely is enough product to go the full length of the garland. And we're gonna move this back here just a little bit. So we've got our blues, our reds, our golds, our berries. We have textures, we have glitter, we have shine, we have a matte, and we've covered a lot of different shapes with using our round ornaments, our finial ornaments, and then using our square jewels and our leaves and our berries. So when you are designing, you want to really think about adding in different shapes, different colors, but also different finishes. Use a glitter, use a matte, use something maybe that might be flat. Those are things that are going to make a visual interest and make your eye continue to look at a design and say, ooh, I didn't see that there before. I'm gonna look again. So you guys are gonna go for a ride, okay? So get ready. If y'all get dizzy, this is your warning, because we're gonna go for a ride. Now I chose to place my personal nutcrackers up on my mantle. So we've got our 3 nutcrackers here. So like I said, if you wanted to, add some black and white in there, get some black picks. If you wanted to add a black ribbon behind that jeweled ribbon, it would definitely pop out too. I really, really loved the royal blue against the red and the gold. I thought it was such a pretty combination. And I wanted to show you all how to do something just a little bit different. So there's one. We put our nutcrackers in the center. And then this is our second side. So we created a big old loop bow with long curly tails, and we just continued to stuff with our ornaments, our berries, our leaves. And personally, all I had left over was an extra 2.5 yards of that designer ribbon. But y'all, if you want to continue to add ribbon, you could easily add tails coming out of the top, and it would be gorgeous. TMI has some beautiful nutcrackers. If this is your theme, you can check out their nutcrackers they have available. Shop tonight, use my code TC20 and you'll actually get 25% off. And they also have really, really large Christmas ornaments. So for those of you that may be shopping to decorate your Christmas tree this year, this was an item I purchased at TMI for my Christmas tree personally. And I'm gonna show y'all, just if you guys wanted to think of something outside the box, I'm gonna take this over the top, super large, extra large, look at this, it's larger than my head, ornament. And I am just going to set it behind my mantle, set it in there, and then look at what that does. It totally takes it to a whole nother level by creating a visual interest and adding something into the corner but into the background. If you wanted to get those larger ornaments, you could just fill the front center with that. But if this isn't your style, if you guys just wanted to go all the way across, it's a 9-foot garland. You have plenty of space to do that. You're just not gonna have as much overhang on the sides, but you do have all the product to go across all the way. And I'm gonna show y'all how to do that exact design on my YouTube page. I designed it earlier today. So y'all are gonna get to see that on my YouTube page only. So you guys are gonna have to go over to my YouTube page, Tarnation Creations, and that video will be posted a little bit later on in this week. So you guys will be able to design all the way across your mantle if doing corner pieces maybe wasn't your jam, which is totally okay too. But I had a blast hanging out with you guys tonight. If you purchase this kit, you can use my code TC20. You'll get 25% off through the end of tonight only. And if you guys want to be entered into the drawing, you need to complete your purchases here in the live at tmigifts.com. You can also shop on their app. You can use my discount code through their app too. And you guys can use that discount code TC20 anytime. It doesn't expire, but the 25% off expires tonight at midnight. I hope y'all had fun. I hope y'all learned something. I hope maybe y'all were inspired to design and decorate your fireplace, your mantle, or your door, or your stairway. Do y'all have any questions for me before we hang up? I think it turned out really pretty.
Everyone's just saying how beautiful it is. Wow, thank you, beautiful.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. And thank you, TMI, for for putting on such an awesome, incredible event. I'm honored that I got to be a part of it, and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for every single opportunity that you guys have given each of these designers. And if you are not following every single one of these designers, please follow them. Okay, before I end the live, I'm gonna show you guys a little tiny sneak peek. I told y'all that TMI just released 2 new kits that I created. One is a Halloween kit, and one I'm calling a winter kit. But let me tell you, this is one of those kits where you're gonna put your own spin on it, okay? Check out this moss cone flat shape element we're gonna be designing with. This is a kit, and there are limited kits. This is gorgeous. If you guys have wanted to try to design with one of these but weren't sure how, check out on TMI's page. You're gonna go to custom wreath boxes, and you'll see all of the different kits that are available there. This is just a little sneak peek into my upcoming winter kit that I'm gonna be designing for y'all. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And shop, TMIgifts.com, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys.